All right, well, this is Mark with Garden Trail Adventures. I'm actually over here in Fort Lauderdale at the convention center. It's actually the end of the show. So the Tropical Plant International Expo 2025. I've been here for 3 days. I actually put a video out and it messed up, so I had to delete it. So I'm starting all over. But this is a long video, which has been recorded over 3 days. So if you could watch it all to the end, that'd be awesome. But if not, definitely come to the end of this video or scroll around in the video. There's lots of interviews, but I end it with Paula from Aroid Nurseries. Greatly appreciate her doing an awesome interview at the end. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of interviews with those that are into organics, organic products. So potting soils and different soil additives, some awesome startup companies that have new products that are into the market. Yes, so a lot of great interviews, a lot of walkthrough of just looking at plants, speeding up the walkthrough with music. So it should be an awesome video. It's been really as a personal time for me. I had some struggles with some of the large nurseries that are more here driven for the box stores. So I had to go through the struggle of understanding that they weren't here for me. They were here for somebody else. So I understand that. But a lot of even some of the large companies are so generous, so kind. So, all right, here we go. All right, I look like I'm beat up already. It's only day 2. I just had a great conversation. This could be in the works in the future. This was really something that I had thought about a lot, like maybe 2 years ago, for a good 2 years when I was really busy, about having a robot versus labor to do my orders. And maybe I'll talk about that a little bit today. I do definitely want to talk about the big nurseries versus small nurseries and how they service people like me. Kind of the benefits of what could theoretically be a relationship with a big nursery, which is always frustrating for me because it never happens, versus a small nursery that could cater, to someone that's on a, beginning or, more of a smaller business. So each nursery has... I'm recording myself. I was actually just talking about big nurseries versus small nurseries. So yes, this is a big nursery. All right, we'll see what's the chances. See, it's been Mr. Deroose. Yesterday was the first time I met him. He has been very kind to me yesterday. Great guy. As you can see how approachable he is. So, some of these plants, I just have to be honest. It's like I don't want to give away all the secrets for what I'm doing. But this is really one of the companies that I'll be working with over companies like Live Trends, which is huge, and companies like Costa Farms, which are huge. So yes, great company. Definitely, that was very kind of him to come and kind of get in the video. So thumbs up for that for sure. So let me go back over here and just walk over and look at this machine. So a couple of the companies, actually Deroose has this company. They have 3 or 4 of these huge machines. All right, so I'm here with Tucker and Steven. Okay, what's the name of the company?
TTA.
TTA. I see that. I thought maybe that was okay.
Yeah.
So it's TTA.
TTA. Been around since 1996.
1996.
Started with the transplanters of plugs.
Okay.
And recently in 2024 released the cutting edge, so transplanting of cuttings, tissue culture and unrooted cuttings. One module can do up to 2,500 cuttings in an hour.
Wow.
And you can also double these modules up to have 2 robots, up to 3 robots on one line.
And it could be configured, like you're saying, multiple different ways. Yes.
One operator interface.
Yes. And you guys are one of the largest companies, right, in this segment?
Absolutely. So
yes.
TTA has recently merged too with ISO.
Okay.
ISO was our biggest competitor for this machine, but as of Monday of this week, we're now one company, so TTA ISO is one. So essentially, with the sticky robot market, we are the only company that offers anything for this.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah, I was actually over, like, I'm starting to buy some plants from Deroose, and they have, what, 3 of your machines?
They have 2 flex sorters and a companines, correct? Cutting sorter. Cutting sorter.
Cutting sorter,
So
okay.
the flex sorter machines, it grades and sorts plugs. So it pulls row by row,
Okay.
picks up the plug, spreads them, takes a picture, and then sorts them on 3 different belts based on their size.
So we have actually talked about another machine, potentially, that isn't directly, it's maybe the same arm. So do you call them robots or machines, or what do you?
This would be just the robotic arm, but the machine that we talked about for the clamshells would be more of our transplanter pick and place unit. So the idea there is it's going to pull different colors out, different plugs out of trays, and then place them into clamshells, and then package as well.
Yeah, so I had a long discussion about that. That was really kind of like a dream or a vision I had a couple years ago.
Yep.
And it actually exists exactly the way that I thought through it, having the shells, having the arm of the machine be able to pick it, put it on the conveyor belt, close the box, and then stamp it with its packaging seal. So, but that's pretty cheap, right, to do that? I'm being sarcastic.
Give or take.
Yeah.
It's relative.
It was probably double the price that I had in my head, but what I had more in my head was kind of like an Amazon robot, just the arm, and then where the arm could just kind of almost take it, put it in there, and do one thing. But this is more than that. It's more like the conveyor belt.
Right. And it has more grippers, right? So it depends on what size tray you're coming out of. It's also related to the amount of grippers you'll have on the machine. So let's say you were pulling those from a 288 tray, and you had 12 grippers on it. The 12 grippers in place into those clamshells, and then we'll package them as well, and then easy shipment. So it's saving you a lot of money on your shipping costs because you're not shipping entire trays. The weight of those trays can get quite costly.
Right.
This is going to be a low weight, easy to package, and just FedEx it right out to your customers on the retail side.
All right, well, that's awesome. Yeah. All right, well, thanks so much, Tucker. Hopefully, maybe in the future I'll have a machine. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. So. All right, well, I'm with Kirkland Nurseries here, just kind of walking around. He's a couple miles down the road, and he grows gardenias for wholesale. He has a couple different varieties, but I wanted to ask him a couple questions. So, Daryl, are the plants, I'm going to ask a lot of dumb questions, are they always glossy like this?
Well, for the show purposes, we use an aerosol spray to clean them up a little bit.
Okay.
To make them more show ready.
Okay.
But we do, as we ship, we actually spray an oil base.
Like a neem oil or something?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
oil on them that
Yeah.
cleans the leaves off
Okay.
prior to shipping.
So what's their natural zone for growing? Are they like a 10 or 11 or a 9?
It's mainly, like you get north of North Carolina, it's going to be a patio type plant.
Okay.
Down south, you can put them in the ground.
Okay.
Ocala, north, you can put them in the ground as a land.
So like a 9A
Yeah.
type of environment.
Central to South Florida, you want a grafted variety.
Okay.
You're going to want to use them in a landscape type setting.
Will they go dormant, or do they, like a blueberry goes dormant and loses the leaves and then comes back, or they'll just die off when it's...
Yeah, no, they kind of go, the leaves will kind of burn if you in the wintertime, they'll thin back.
Okay.
But once it heats up in the spring, they'll bounce back.
And their flowering season, is it continual, or is it just like a spring or summer?
It's primarily a spring bloom. Once you get them in a natural environment.
Yeah.
Inside our greenhouse, and we kind of can accelerate a little bit, so we'll start to get some blooms in January.
Okay.
But in the natural environment, you're probably not going to see this. It'll be more of a March through May type thing.
Gotcha. And then So it's like I swear these are just dumb questions, but is it treated as like an indoor type of foliage plant? That's where I'm confused, to be honest.
Yeah, for what I grow, it's more of an indoor foliage item. People buy them, they enjoy the fragrance of the blooms.
Okay.
And then they may try to replant it in the yard or put it in a plant.
So are they like a low light plant? Do they need much light when they're indoors?
These are when you have them indoors, they got to have a lot of light.
A lot of light.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
what triggers the buds to open. If they without light, the buds won't open. Sometimes you get some bud dry.
okay, so the buds will, come out.
Even outdoors, you want to be like a morning sun, afternoon shade type situation.
Okay, and do they need a dormancy to flower, or not necessarily?
Well,
That's more of the cycle.
It is kind of a length of day trigger type.
Okay, light, yeah.
So in the summertime, usually once the days start to get really long, and they really don't bud that well in the summer.
Okay.
So, but as it starts, you'll get a little bit of a bloom in the fall. Sometimes it'll start to bud a little bit.
So they're really similar to like a blueberry plant,
Yeah.
sort of, or some of the blueberry plants, because there's so many different cultivars. I'm actually, one of the videos that I'm doing now is I bought a whole bunch of grow lights. There's a plant needs, what's the micromoles? That's what I'm trying to say. Like how many micromoles and the distance between the plants. So, anyways, that's a little off topic. Well, thank you, Daryl, for letting me record you and the information you gave us on the gardenias. So, okay. Yeah, so I definitely have to send this to Chad. Where are you located?
In Taiwan.
Okay.
So that's why we have issues like this.
All right. Well, I really love this idea of showing the size of your nursery. So there's something coming in the channel here soon. So we hit the outer banks here, the first row. So usually the first row is not going to have a lot of growers. So this company definitely is a grower. I don't know where they're at. I don't see someone walking around, but let's just look at some of the beautiful plants they have. All right, so I was here yesterday, actually more in the end of the day, and I was talking with Joseph and a couple other people with the group, but it's just Joseph today. So one of the awesome things is that I've always considered potentially having like my own brand, but to get into that, you're talking like thousands and tens of thousands, really more like 20 to 40,000 bags. So this would be theoretically a company that could help if you wanted to rebrand, but they do have their own brand. So we're going to start with their brand. So Coast of Maine, can you tell me a little bit about the brand itself?
Coast of Maine's been around since 1996.
Okay.
Started manufacturing soil products in Portland, Maine, derived from crab and lobster compost. It's really dense in nutrients. Our original product is going to be our Quaddy Blend, which is this dark green bag on the floor here. We take the Quaddy Blend fertilizer and we blended everything from our raised bed mix, our potting soil. We have a treated shrub mix.
And these are all
our Stonington blend.
The mixings here, right?
Yeah. So it'll show our customers all the different consistencies between the different mixes. We've got some newer ones for TPIE, such as our Mountain Desert Island cactus and succulent mix.
Okay.
Our Campnetic indoor houseplant mix. We've also got our Sprout Island seed starter mix, which is really good.
That's
Good
a lot.
For a lot of people that are doing community pots or something like that with small plants.
All right. So if I'm focused on more or less fruit plants, starter fruit plants, and then foliage, what would be the best two mixes for that?
I would recommend our Bar Harbor blend or the Campnetic house plant mix for foliage plants.
Which one's that here?
Is really nice. It's this one right here.
Okay.
You can see that there's really coarse particle sizes.
All right.
One of the biggest things that contributes to overwatering with plants is just having too small and too fine of particles that are holding water for too long.
Okay.
That's going to enable more drainage, so the feet are going to get drier, have more air.
So
Our
what's
harbor is also good because it's very, very dense in nutrients. It's going to make the plants very green and very robust.
so first of all, what is the actual mix? It's a bark. It's
Yep, it's bark. It's aged forest products. We've also got cocoa fiber in there. We've got peat moss. We've also got coarse perlite.
Does it have a fertilizer mixed into
No,
it?
This one's inert. It does not have a fertilizer in it.
Okay, and there's no soil beneficials added.
No, this one just as per specification from a lot of people that are in, foliage, tropical houseplant, and horticulture. They wanted a clean inert mix, so that's what we delivered with this product.
So do you think like starting with like a liquid fertilizer or a granular fertilizer? What's your
You could either utilize a granular fertilizer or a Stonington fertilizer, or a liquid squid.
Okay, so either one would work just fine,
Absolutely.
but they do have different. I don't know what the word is I'm looking
I
for,
would say
but
the Stonington fertilizer is going to break down over a longer period of time. It starts feeding after 7 to 10 days. It'll feed for about 6 weeks after application. The liquid squid is effectively available immediately, upon diluting in water and drenching the plants with.
okay, and you have the fertilizer here as well.
We actually, just because it's the last day of TPIE, we gave it away to some prospective customers that
Okay.
are interested in fertilizers.
Okay, so I'm definitely interested in potentially trying to start with some of these.
Yeah.
The advantage to this over what I've been using, which I do like, is the Fox Farm Happy Frog. But lo and behold, it doesn't have this label. So, I call it the OMRI. What do you actually OMRI or?
OMRI.
Okay.
OMRI is what most people call it, or OMRI.
Okay.
It stands for Organic Materials Review Institute. It's an independent international body that approves products for organic production, whether it's farming animals or horticulture, floriculture, producing food.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
So not all the bags, but most of the bags are certified organic
correct.
through the
Yeah.
OMRI. So we will work on maybe getting 2 of the bags and potentially look more into this fertilizer because we didn't really speak so much about the fertilizer yesterday.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, Joseph, for your time, and we'll see what happens.
I'm excited. Thanks.
All right, I'm actually over here with Michael, so I'm just kind of missing around. I'm trying to get into Aroid, but there's been a line now since what, 12:30?
It's been a steady stream for almost 45 minutes. I
Yeah,
think,
so it's she's killing it over there. But what's interesting is that Michael is from Kennett Square. Can't see it in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I lived in Philadelphia. I went to school in Lansdale at Calvary Baptist Theological Seminary. So never
nice.
said that on the channel so far. So yeah, this is my old stomping ground up that way. Not so much Kennett Square, but in that overall area. So I'm quite familiar up there. But yes, you are, I guess, a co-owner?
Yeah, I'm co-owner and chief marketing officer at Organic Mechanics, and been with Organic Mechanics for over a decade. And we make all organic, sustainable, peat-free potting soils. And what does that mean? It's just the ingredients that we source. So biochar, compost, worm castings, coconut fiber. We try to get the most sustainable ingredients that are also certified organic, so you have a healthy and happy growth for your plant.
Okay, so Michael, we'll take this one step farther because I've already interviewed and I've been talking about trying to have a brand or a potting brand under Hello Organics. The buy-in to do that is quite substantial. I mean, like well over $100,000 potentially just to do one bag, unless if you're doing maybe your own bagging or whatever. But really what I wanted to kind of focus is on that peat aspect, because there's a lot of peat that comes out of Canada, and now they're actually bringing peat, I think, from Europe. Do you know much about the peat side of the industry?
A little bit. So, I mean, certainly, peat's been used in horticultural potting soils since the 40s and the 50s, right? It's kind of was the main ingredient. And finding better alternatives that are more sustainable.
Right.
The peatlands in Northern America rival the Amazon rainforest in terms of carbon sequestration. So they're really doing a great job of keeping carbon in the ground. We don't want to take the carbon out of the ground because that contributes to global warming and climate change. So using coconut fiber, which is a regenerative plant.
Okay, coconut fiber.
Things like biochar, which are actually carbon negative.
So can you tell me a little bit more about biochar? I don't know if you know Pete Canaris, if you've ever seen his channel, Green Dreams.
Yeah, I've heard of Pete, yeah.
Yeah, so he is really into the biochar. Let me kind of just look at the word here, right? So biochar, peat-free.
So biochar is made from organic matter. It can be made from anything, but certainly some things are better than others. Ours is made from southern pine in Virginia, And so
is it just the burn down?
Yeah, so it's actually the cambium. So you debark the tree. Most of the tree is going to be for logging or some other type of purpose, and then the point kind of in the middle on the edge that no one really wants to use is actually what we're using for the biochar. So you're kind of giving something that wouldn't have much of a life anyway, a second life. And then once you make it into biochar by a process called pyrolysis, you're carbonizing it. And so it'll be in your soil for hundreds of years.
Are you following this? I'm following most of it. So maybe I could. Yeah, so that's why I said we're going down to another level here, right?
Yeah.
We're getting into the dynamics of how to build up a soil with different methods other than peat, So, but biochar itself is what's the most basic definition of biochar, like for an elementary understanding?
I'd say it's a lifetime soil amendment.
Okay, it's a lifetime soil amendment, but it's just a burning down of a source, right?
So,
like if it's a tree, like you're saying.
I've seen farmers across the world do different things. Kukui nuts in Hawaii, or macadamia nuts over in Africa, or almond shells, or there's all different things you can use. But certainly the more common the feedstock, or how uniform everything is going into pyrolysis machine to make the biochar, the better.
Right.
But yeah, we're using southern pine, and we find it's a really great source.
So it's creating nitrogen, or what is it actually?
It's actually kind of crystallizing the carbon in the
carbon
structure.
Okay.
So it's when you're making the biochar, it's in an absence of oxygen. So you're heating something very high heat. Think of it as like a vaporizer.
Okay.
In the sense that you're really high heat, but you're not burning it physically with a flame, right? And so what's left under this structure is hundreds of thousands of straws all pushed together.
Right.
And it's like a sponge that's empty.
Okay.
And you can fill it by adding compost, worm castings, biology, nutrients, minerals, all these things, and it will inoculate the biochar. And then the biochar can get back to plants in times of need and stress.
Okay, so I followed most of that. Sure. Like I understand the concept. I always was learning that concept more based upon peat. As the peat breaks down, then it becomes, you could get it like in a liquid form or whatever, but at the bottom of that bog, it's like a really high nutrient type of natural, not chemical, but natural product.
Yeah.
And the theory is that's going to be added to a soil. In this case, it could be peat direct, but it also could be added to other soils. And really the overall end result is that plant is going to have a natural environment
Correct.
Where it can uptake its nutrients properly. Instead of having an environment that you're basically killing everything in it, and with a synthetic type of device where you're basically controlling the overall growth through synthetic things. So if it would be the weeds, or to keep it sterile or whatever, instead of having basically a natural or a living type of organism or system that is naturally occurring already. But the thing with a potting soil or a fertilizer, instead of having that naturally occur like over a food forest, with organics itself, is basically speeding up that process.
We're trying to do our best to replicate what's in nature. So nature has already taught us what's good, what works, what gives the plants the healthiest, life. And so we're trying to do that by bringing back things that naturally are found in nature, right? Worm casting is just worm poop, right? Worms are going through your soil, they're pooping. The plants are like, this is great, I love it. And so we're just adding a little bit into some of our blends.
Okay.
Compost is something that's really sustainable because we're using different types.
So what are the main blends that you have here then?
Sure. So our premium blend is our houseplant blend. And this was really rich in compost and worm castings. Get nice and dark in there.
So once again, compost in theory would be better than pulling out of a big peat bog.
Correct. Yeah.
But I mean, there's you could see why there's still a need for peat.
Yeah.
But.
And so this has got coconut fiber kind of as your peat replacement.
Okay.
So coconut fiber is the end product of harvesting coconuts.
Okay.
And what it's done is it's cleaned, it's washed, kind of get rid of a lot of salt. It's a nice pithy material here. It's great for wetting, re-wetting. It also provides drainage.
So this is broken down or grinded up a little bit more than what you would normally think of as like a coconut core.
Correct. This is really fine grade, and this is one of the main ingredients in our soils. And when it comes over to us, it's actually compacted at about 7-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
So you're actually getting a lot more benefit for the environment in terms of your carbon score, kind of your how much you're emitting.
Right.
Actually, we find that the math we've done is better than peat here, and plus it's something that's regenerating. I mean, you're growing these plants all the time. It's not something that's taken thousands of years to grow these peat bogs, and then we're just taking it out.
Correct. Yeah, it's happening quicker. So, one of the last questions I have then for you is then how do you sell your products? Are you looking to have distributors, or are you more just direct to market?
So for wholesale, for business to business, we deal mostly direct. We do have a couple of small distributors we work with, but mostly we sell direct to stores.
Okay.
Pallet minimum, and then for your average home gardener, yeah, I mean, go right to our website, organicmechanicssoil.com. If you sign up for our newsletter, every month we have a different 20% off coupon for a different product. We have great ship rates. We ship all across the United States.
So okay, so you can go directly to the website. If you're, I guess, a garden center or whatever, that you could potentially set up some kind of an account to be able to sell the product.
Yeah.
Are you selling in any external sources other than your website, like Amazon, eBay, Etsy?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're on Amazon and then a lot of other different online retailers. So
Okay,
find
and
us
they're
around. Obviously, if you go to our website, we'll have a little more information for you. Yeah, we're in a lot of different places. Just
All right.
Organic mechanic soil.
Well, all right. Well, hold on. I'll kind of zoom. Michael, you look like way better. Maybe I need to get a hat like you, right? I feel like I'm tired or whatever. But I hope you enjoy this conversation. I mean, this is definitely, Michael knows the stuff. I've been doing organics. I'm not as knowledgeable as Michael, but I do understand the basics and beyond the basics of organic growing. So I hope this has been a great informational time. Check him out online. So, all right. Thanks for watching so far. So this is Phyto Booster?
Phyto Booster.
Okay.
And it's a Phyto Booster is coming originally from the Netherlands, but we started the production site in Merritt Island, Florida in early 2023, and we're starting to bring our product on the market.
So what exactly is the product?
The product is an
I'm trying to zoom in over here with this little tower garden.
Yeah, the product is an aminoplast resin, and it's creating a foam, and the foam will contain 60% water, 40% air. So
Okay.
it creates the ideal circumstances for roots.
Okay.
And with that,
Sorry, I'm kind of swinging around here. But I wanted to show, I touched it before here.
Yep.
So it's not perlite or vermiculite,
It's a replacement. It's a sustainable replacement for perlite, vermiculite, and peat.
is it a natural product or is it a synthetic product?
It is both. It is, but it's 100% biodegradable. It is compostable, and with that, it's a sustainable product because it completely disappears in nature. It will be gone. Depending on the type of industry you're working on. For example, a golf course will have the highest density, and it will last for 20 years. And it will give a golf course 20 years a saving of 60% of their irrigation water.
So when it's bought, does it come dry, like in a drier type of form?
Yeah, like we here. It's either coming in very small particles.
I can obviously
like perlite.
It's like snow, right?
It's like snow.
Christmas snow.
And in larger. So
Okay.
you can mix this inside the pots. And if you see the product inside the pots, a small layer in the bottom of the pot will prevent root rot because there's always air available for the roots.
Got it. That makes sense.
No matter if the pot is underwater for so much, doesn't matter. It will always sustain the amount of air to the roots, so they will not drown.
Right. But it's 100% perfect for hydroponic growing because it can just sit, and then you kind of showed me the roots on this before.
Yes.
That it's just grown 100% as the medium or median?
Media.
Media.
Substrate, yeah.
Okay, substrate. Thank you. Yeah, I always try to say these words sometimes and I get confused
This
myself.
is how much the roots like it, and the baby from this one is actually this one.
Okay. And how are you marketing and selling? Are you trying to do just for like larger accounts or for?
Yeah, we're selling directly to the larger nurseries.
Okay.
So we do not go to a dealership network because that will up the price on the product. We are now equal to or a little bit lower than perlite, but we sell directly from factory to nursery.
Directly from factory nursery. So there's no other distributor locally. Okay.
No.
Well, I could come and buy it directly from you on what quantity?
Anybody can buy it directly from us.
Is it like a tote or what size is the smallest?
Well, we
the
have
bag.
little bag. This is one of the smaller packages.
Okay.
And then we have the big totes, up to truckloads.
And that's going to just ship like on UPS as that bag.
Yes.
It's a light bag, so obviously that makes it good for shipping versus 8 or 10, 20 pounds.
It's money, but when you start to use it, you need to wet it up
Okay.
and then mix it with soil.
So for the typical potting soil, what's the ratio? Is it just
That depends on the type of plant what you're working with. Most of the growers now, especially when they are new to the product, they start with a 50-50 ratio.
50-50, okay.
And then they tune down until they see that the benefits will go down a little bit. So
correct.
Usually they end up between 20 and 30% of mix in the soil, and it has all the benefits.
Right, if it's a peat or different base soils,
Up to
mulches.
50% water savings in the total production, that's usual.
All right, well, thank you so much. I think we got some great information in there, so.
Okay.
Okay.
I wish.
All right, well, I'm here with Kim, and she is,
I'm the National Sales Director for Thrive Roots.
okay. And what is Thrive Roots?
Okay. Think about Thrive Roots like your plant probiotic. Thrive Roots is a triple action root and soil booster. So what does that mean in plain English? You add this to your watering system. It's not a nutrient. It has no heavy metals, but it does have the OMRI listing. It's organic and it's safe for people, pets, and the planet. So what you do with our product is whatever nutrient you're using, you buy your beautiful house plants, you buy your plant food, and then you add Thrive Roots to your watering system. What Thrive Roots does is it improves the soil microbiome. How do we do that? We have botanical extracts, yucca, cocoa, essential oils, and extracts from botanicals from all around the world. What they do is they improve the soil's microbiome by boosting the growth of your good bacteria and fungi and tamping down the growth of your bad bacteria, anaerobic bacteria, the powdery mildew, all those things.
All right, so with the product, what is it actually trying to do for the plant?
So what it does is it improves the nutrient uptake and the root vigor. So your plant will be healthier, stronger, more resilient, and more resistant to disease. And we do that naturally and organically.
So the way I see it is kind of like, if you have a food forest or permaculture, is that's what's going to happen naturally over time to soil as it's built up properly.
Yes.
But this is basically doing that to your soil immediately.
Yes, and you can use it outdoors and indoors, especially on your houseplants. They're not in the ground. They don't have the opportunity to get those microbes and to get the soil moving, and so our product assists with that.
Great. So what different sizes do you have?
So we've got our minis for you to try. We have 3 profiles. Berry is for your vegetable garden and your fruits. Citrus, especially for our friends in Florida and Texas for their citrus trees or Meyer lemon trees. And then our garden is for all of your leafy greens and your vegetables and your ornamentals.
And how many, is that an ounce base?
This is 8 ounces.
8
and
ounces.
you just put 2 tablespoons per gallon in your water. And then we've also got pints,
All right.
quarts, gallons, 2.5 gallons, and all of our packaging is recyclable.
Oh, wow. So a lot of times companies won't have that many options. So you have basically every option available.
Well, we actually go up to a 250-gallon tote if you need it, but you have to call me to get that.
Okay, so yeah, if you're trying
We
to
don't have
inject
to stock
into
in
a
the store.
large company like AgriStarts
Yes.
that has, I don't know, thousands and tens of thousands of gallons of
Yes.
water that they use, that they could use the larger size. So is your focus just on one specific segment of the market or overall?
So we're available for everyone. These sizes are, of course, focused on your at-home gardeners, your plant moms, your plant dads, people
So
like
it's
me.
like garden centers, you're trying to sell
Nurseries,
nurseries.
garden centers,
Okay, absolutely. And I
Local
assume
hardware
there's like a
store.
huge buy-in, right? I have to buy like $10,000 worth of materials.
You would think that, but no, we ship from XPO right to your door. We have folks who just buy one of these and we just send it right to you.
Okay, awesome. So, all right, well, thank you so much, Kim. I think
Thank
that was a lot
you.
better than the first time
Thank you
around.
so much. Thanks for coming by. This has been a great show. We love TPIE.
Okay.
We've had such a great time. And you can find us at thriveroots.com.
5 minutes, so we can probably hit another couple rows. So I recorded on that side, right? Maybe I should be down the next aisle. Let me go back over here to the next aisle, since we were just over here. All right, well, I'm with Gina, so we've actually had a conversation for at least, 15 minutes now? Yeah, so maybe I should start in the future by just asking if I could record, but I want to know more, want to know the product first, if it's a good fit for this video, and this is an awesome fit. So can you tell me, Gina, then a little bit about the product?
Absolutely. So this is the Cowbell self-watering system.
Okay.
We are the world's only pressure-regulated self-watering system
Okay.
that lets your plants drink on demand for over 2 weeks without overwatering. So as you can see, it's not drip irrigation, it's not dripping constantly in your plant,
Okay.
even though this is a ceramic spike, so it has tiny pores in it that allows your plant roots to absorb water as it needs. And we keep the water suspended in a vacuum, and that's why it's not dripping on its own. Because when it drips, it's going to overwater your plant, it's going to cause root rot, so we don't want to do that. But the way the technology works is as your plant roots drink using capillary action, it's also decreasing the pressure that's inside of the system. And then it talks to our pressure regulating valve lid technology.
Okay.
And so that valve will pop open for a millisecond and then let air in, let water out, and then that is how your plants are able to drink as it needs. And what happens, as you can see, I'm going to pop open the
Okay.
lid for a second, and that's going to now remove the vacuum. It's going to cause gravity to come down. It's going to, in about 10 seconds or less, start dripping on its own. There's one
Oh,
now,
wow.
and
You
it's
didn't show me
gonna
that before. I can touch this, right, obviously?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it is wet. I mean, it's
And so
dripping,
that's,
so.
that's the problem, right? With everything else on Amazon that you've seen, it's just gravity fed, so it's going to slow drip into your plant, overwater it, cause root rot, fungus, gnats, you name it. So we're solving that with our pressure regulating technology
Okay.
that keeps it in a vacuum. So it's not going to do that, and it's going to just let your plants drink on demand. We do a lot of videos on our Instagram and online that just show different plants drinking at different speeds.
Oh, wow.
Over time. So a caladium, which is more thirsty, lasts a little over 2 weeks on one refill.
Is this an S9? What tablet is this?
That is a Samsung something.
I had bought an S9, took it back to
Yeah.
Best Buy,
Yeah.
then went back to get it again, and was using it because I really like editing the videos off
Okay,
of that.
yeah.
But it was only 128 gigabytes.
Oh.
So I would fill it up with like one video.
And then-
So I took
yeah.
it back again. But now I bought a 500 gigabyte, so all my editing does come off
Yeah.
of the S9. So the first question that I asked Gina was, you can't tell, is this glass or what is this? It's not.
So this is an eco luxury material that's made to look like glass.
It does too,
Yeah,
100%.
But it is shatterproof, weatherproof, BPA free. It's super lightweight, so you can use it in hanging planters. It's not going to shatter when you,
Okay.
with the wind or your cat. And it also is very carbon neutral. And then this is a glass and bamboo and a ceramic spike. This is dishwasher safe. And then this is a technology we developed out of the Netherlands. This is a plastic, but it's also made out of Triton, if you remember
Yes.
those Nalgene bottles of yours
Okay.
that are indestructible.
So
that
you
is
can
what
buy
happens.
direct through.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are online at calocasia.com.
Okay.
You can also find us on Flip.
Okay.
You can also find us on Instagram or Facebook Shop.
Okay.
And yeah. And
Awesome.
hopefully,
Yeah, and then it is a product that you could buy wholesale, obviously, to
Absolutely.
resell. So,
and hopefully
you know,
we're,
maybe Lord willing, we'll put it in the website.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Okay. Nick, what are you doing?
Hey, how's it going,
You
man?
can't bring puppies to the show.
I mean, they bring me, man.
That's how you get customers. That's marketing. Look at those cute little puppies. Where are you located, Nick?
I'm out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, you're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You sell the puppies.
We're local.
So what is the idea behind the grass seed? I had to ask them or just...
Well, so what this grass is real Bermuda grass.
Okay, it's Bermuda.
Yeah, absolutely. It has clay infused at the bottom to help
Okay.
with odors. This grass is used for pets. A lot of times, people who own pets are living in areas where it might be snowy, might be a natural disaster.
Yeah.
And this is like more of an alternative for a potty training animal, keeping them indoors.
Cool. All right, so Palm Tree Packaging is actually the closest business to where I live at. So, yeah, Christine over here is nervous. So we were joking about the land, like you guys have been engulfed by retail space over there, or no, flex space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with the pots, I was saying, if you look at these pots, what are they? They're actually metal, right?
These are metal pots.
Yes.
And these are painted to the color of your choice.
Okay. So you do custom designs.
That's right.
Okay, in different sizes. So nothing's theoretically stocked in a Popka? Okay, everything is custom made.
Yeah, we'll make the pot specific to fit your grower pot.
Okay, so we are obviously at a show that's doing wholesale, so
I'd be
get a
happy
quote.
To, get you a custom quote.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, I recorded earlier and I'm gonna record again, so I'm with Miguel and Sarah, right? So they actually won an award for the product?
Yeah, so it's best small non-plant display.
All right.
The fun part is the whole display is actually recycled. My dad said that he had some old leftover materials and that he had an idea, and this is what he came up with. So we're pretty happy about it.
Great. So can you just tell me about the product then?
So our product is an orchid basket.
Okay.
It's 100% recycled polypro, so it's the same material that your normal nursery pots are made out of, but it's 100% recycled. There's no virgin plastic. And then they're injection molded, and we maxed out all the wall thicknesses. So they're as thick as you can possibly make it with injection molding, so they're very durable. And then I did them with screws in the bottom. So you can literally take the screws out of the bottom, and that way you can get to your roots from underneath. You're also drilling directly into a metal insert, so you can do it multiple times and it's not going to wear out the plastic. And then if you really need to, while you're repotting, if your orchid roots have gone crazy, it's tongue and groove, so you can literally disassemble the entire planter, sanitize it, bleach it, reuse it, and then...
So the planter itself was designed specifically for the orchid
Yes.
industry. Okay.
Yeah, so our original prototypes were actually just gifts for Miguel's mom, and we actually made them out of wood. And of course, they fell apart in 6 months, and then that kind of started our thinking of, okay, how could we move to plastic and still be sustainable?
Hopefully I could hear you when I walked away there, but should be able to pick that up. And one of the things too with planters is that they actually come with chains, correct?
Yes, so it comes with a stainless steel chain.
It comes with
And they come packaged just like this with the chain on the inside.
All right.
With a chain, packaged inside in a little brown bag.
Yeah, so you can actually see the nice packaging here. So I guess obviously you sell direct.
Yeah, we sell direct through our website, vinyplanters.com.
Okay, let me find it.
Our main goal is wholesale, which is why we're here at TPIE. So our goal is mainly to do as many wholesale accounts as possible. Basically, anywhere that sells a wooden basket should offer somebody another option.
Okay.
So that's kind of our overall goal.
And these fit kind of the standard size of what's in the industry.
Yeah, so it's a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch, which is your normal standard. We are going to come out with a smaller version, maybe a 3 or 4-inch, and then move into plaques and things like that eventually. So.
Okay, so for like a wholesale account, do I have to be like a large, box store where I have to buy 10,000 at a time?
So most of our first wholesale accounts were just local nursery centers. or orchid supply companies. So Opie Orchid Supplies down in Homestead, Green Barn Orchid Supplies in Delray. We also have some growers like Gemini Orchids and CR Orchids. So basically they plant inside of them or they sell them to their clients that they do repotting for. So we have a very low minimum. It's only 2 boxes and the 16 to a box. So we want to, our goal is to get the name out there and let people know that there's real people behind the product. That I actually designed it, I 3D modeled it, we prototyped it in-house. We've been working on it for 10 years and we stand behind it.
Well, that is awesome. I have, a great respect or appreciation for, like kind of this, I don't want to say it's a startup exactly. I mean, this product's a startup, but I don't think your company is in general.
I mean, we launched last year.
Okay, so it is a startup. Yeah, so it's a startup.
Pretty new.
Yeah.
We launched with just our 8-inch size. We did 1,000 of them and we sold out in 3 shows. So we used that funding to do the tooling for the 6-inch, and then from the 6-inch we just launched our 10-inch, which is our largest one so far, last week.
Awesome.
So now we have a full set, and I would consider us a startup still.
Absolutely. Okay. I wasn't sure if you had like another existing business before that.
We both work full time still, so hopefully one day we can make this
transition. Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I started off, really my goal was to make minimum wage. So I figured, hey, if I can make $80 a day, then I don't have to go get a job.
Exactly.
So,
Do yourself. That's the goal.
all right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Well, I'm at Holt Nurseries here. We are in the 600 section. It is the last day, and I have not made it past really the 800 section. So I do have some videos last night when I walked through real fast. So we'll see me walking through fast. But yeah, Holt Nursery, I guess Tom is not feeling good, so that's unfortunate. I was hoping to maybe be able to hang out and ask him some questions. But yes, please go to Holt Nurseries if you're looking for more wholesale succulents. So yes, Tom does carry over 1 million plants in his greenhouse in Apopka, but they do focus, as you can see, on assorted varieties of not foliage, but they do have foliage, of succulents. So you can go in and request their inventory sheet and set up your account. And obviously they have different methods of shipping, wholesale. So that's beyond my expertise. So you can see some of the foliage. So over here's Deborah. I didn't see you over here. You look tired. 2 days, yeah. Yeah, so you can go to Tom's YouTube channel, which you've seen potentially if you've watched any of my videos. I do have one where I go around with Tom a little bit, and Jerry and Kagan from Wolf's World. So they already sold all of this booth.
The dots on it, the texture is just, to me, it's amazing.
Look at these cool little bonsais. Yeah, so some of the items I might start to try to carry, more of the 4-inch, potentially of the succulents and 4-inch sizes. See, there's always a problem though, is that there is a little bit of cross marketing or sales, so it's always hard to try to figure out how to work with Tom. I guess I could just say it like that, because some of the items that he's trying to sell, I'm trying to sell, and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, Tom's a great guy, great company. Check him out. All right, well, I just left Holt Nursery. I was able to speak with Deborah more than I've ever spoken to her before. I've only had a little bit of conversations with Tom, a couple conversations just going into the nursery with Deborah. So, I mean, once again, I greatly appreciate owners like Ty at AgriStarts, or how Paul from Deroose, how more or less he treated me, and then how Deborah's treated me. They're so kind and so willing to have a nice conversation. So, but all right, well, I'm in Cameron. I'm over here at the Aroid Nursery trying to, record a little bit, but they're actually PlantCon, right?
Yes, PlantCon International Plant Convention.
Okay, yeah. Plant Convention in Orlando.
So Plant Convention in Orlando, February 22nd and 23rd.
Okay.
We're going to be at the Hilton Doubletree near SeaWorld.
Okay.
It's going to be a ton of fun.
So is it for just more retail type of environment, just to purchase on spot?
Yes, it's direct to consumers. So we've got a lot of hobbyists that like to come out, collectors, people that are new to plants and just want to learn. We'll have educational sessions and workshops. There's also a ton of volunteer opportunities, and you can learn work experience in the industry and really connect with a lot of great people.
Say hi.
And there's going to be fun.
It's going to be
That's
fun.
where I come in.
Okay.
So if you want some fun, you come and see me at PlantCon Orlando 2025. You can't miss it.
Can't miss it, right?
That's right.
Right. So, so yes, it is a retail environment, as you were saying. Is it just for foliage, or how broad of a category of plants are you looking to have there?
So a lot of what our vendors and exhibitors bring is tropical plants. But we have a lot of exhibitors that have a variety of plants. Cacti, succulents.
Well, I specialize in starter fruit plants.
Okay.
So I have about 30 or 40 varieties, potentially up to 50 different varieties of different categories of fruit plants. And then I'm trying to get more into some of the foliage and have a little bit of a different marketing approach with the garter trail. So yes, but we'll definitely try to follow up and see potentially if I can get in the show. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So, all right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is Paula. Paula has my favorite new channels with plants. So there's a lot of people that are great influencers or on YouTube that have awesome plants like she has. But what makes Paula different is that she is an actual nursery owner. That these are all her plants, and then you can buy them direct at
Perfect Choice Nursery at our garden center, which is like 40 minutes west of Fort Lauderdale, where we are here today.
Okay. Yes, you could buy them direct through her there, and she has some. You have special events, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
So sometimes we do plant swaps. We do IAS like after hour party, and that's like during the International Aroid show that happens every September.
Okay, so I was walking through, Paula, and like recording before when you had the long line. All right, this is the closest thing, the closest person, the closest business concept to what I'm trying to do. So this is Aroid Nursery. This is actually new to me, so I just subscribed. But do you see there's no other company around here that has a line for people to pick up their plants? So this is more a wholesale event. People are coming to pick up their plants at the end of the show, which you're allowed to do. And she definitely promotes her plants well. Has a great online presence, great YouTube channel. So I think Paula has like a little bit of a secret business plan in here that she's getting away with. I'm just kidding. So everyone is allowed to sell their plants at the end of the show, or you can sell the whole booth.
Yeah.
But Paula was doing something just a little bit different.
What was I doing?
Well, yeah, you had a line of people for like an hour buying plants.
Yeah. No, because obviously like this is pretty like these plants are a pretty big deal. The variegated plants, they're exotic plants, and the entire day we've been getting questions. What time are you guys selling? What time are you guys selling? And we're like, we don't know yet. Oh my God.
So it wasn't planned necessarily.
No, we didn't know. And then all of a sudden, like people started grabbing plants and putting in the basket. We're like, okay, I guess this is the moment.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I judged you wrong. I thought you had this all planned out, and this is what you do.
No, it's always really, I don't know, it's always like a by chance kind of thing.
Right,
we were telling people, oh, we're going to sell at 1, but we ended up selling like at around 11:45, I think.
Well, maybe next year you might change it up now that you know, right? You might have to plan it.
It's different every year.
Okay.
So, but we started selling, and now this is what we have.
Yes. So Paula actually has a lot of videos from the past of TPIE.
Yeah.
This is my first video. So I'm at a lower subscriber base. I do have one really high video, but I have a plan. So I really appreciate that Paula gave me the time to do this. So I wanted to ask Paula about some of the YouTube struggles though, because she hasn't been posted, but her videos are very specific to shows and then what she's doing in the greenhouse. Do you have a couple travel videos?
Yes.
Okay.
We have travel videos. So whenever it's anything plant related and
Okay.
it's travel,
Right.
If it's like an event, that's when I really do like to take a chance to vlog it all.
Okay.
And just capture the whole entire weekend, the moments, and all that.
Right.
my week, like the ones I used to do every single week, those were more like, what's it like working at a garden center? What's it like behind the scenes at a farm, at our greenhouse farm? So that's what it was normally like, but now I just kind of focus on like whenever we do an event like this. TPIE is always huge, so I always do a TPIE vlog. And it's great that you're going to be able to do it too now.
100%.
We love to focus on
small businesses,
on online shoppers, like for
right.
online plant businesses, plant boutiques, garden centers, all over the country. That's what we like to focus on. We haven't done anything big box. We haven't done anything because we like small.
Right. Well, that's what I'm getting at, right?
We're a small business ourselves.
Yeah.
So we love supporting that.
It finally dawned on me that what I was feeling and thinking is what's real. Like, yeah, you know, there are people here catering to that large end consumer.
Yeah.
You know, Walmart or Home Depot or a larger type of structure. And I always felt like, is it true that they don't really care about me? It's not that they don't care about me, but they're not here for me. They're here for them. So anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much, Paula.
Thank you.
And then I always struggle with ending these videos.
No,
So
it's okay.
how are we going to end it, Paula? You got to.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching TPIE. This is such a great event. I'm so happy that you were able to film this for everyone and get a little sneak peek on what it's like to be at one of these expos. And thanks, guys. I'm Paula. My name's Paula from Perfect Choice Nursery and Aroid Greenhouses. We are a family-owned garden center and wholesale farm. And yeah, thank you guys.
All right.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Subscribe, comment, like.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.